Today, I'm going to tell you reasons why you shouldn't live in San Antonio, Florida. Come on, let's go. If you don't like having parks to visit, don't live here. San Antonio, Florida is home to several parks. There's a park at the center of town, has playground equipment. It's in front of the post office and St. Anthony's Church, and you will frequently see people out here playing basketball or just using the playground equipment. A little bit down the road, but still within the city limits of San Antonio, is the San Antonio Athletic Complex. That is home to 4 different baseball and softball fields. There is a playground there, and also there is a walking track that goes around the entire complex. Now, one of my favorite new places, it's not really new, but I just recently visited it. I just recently went there for the very first time, is the dog park in San Antonio, Florida. It's called Rose Wolf, and it is in the southwest corner of the Rosewood neighborhood, behind Al's Pizza and the pottery shop. That is where you will find the dog park, and it is very peaceful, quiet, it's shaded. It's across the street from some cow pastures with actual cows in them. The only downside about it is that you really have to get your dog in a car and take your dog there. There's also a park, a very small park down by the lake. Now, it used to have a dock and people would fish from there, but the dock was getting in pretty bad condition and the city had to take it down. So now you can only fish from the shoreline of Lake Jovita, also known as Clear Lake. But you should be careful because actually there are alligators in Clear Lake, in Lake Jovita. I saw one myself the other day. So you should be careful if you're fishing right at the shoreline, because you never know what could come up from the waters. There's a small pavilion there, some grills, and a play set for the kids to play on as well. I like to take a morning walk down to the lake area, and there used to be a dock right here. It had to be taken down because it was old and it was unsafe, and so the city decided to remove it. And so I have seen people fish right here from the shoreline. But if you're not from Florida, and even if you are from Florida, but Floridians kind of already just know this, you should just be careful when you are at a shoreline, at a lake or a pond, because if you see a body of water, guess what's in it? A gator. You can almost 100% guarantee that there is an alligator in a body of water like this. So you should just be aware of your surroundings. That's all I'm saying. So if you don't like having access to several parks, don't live here. If you don't like to do business with local business owners, don't live here. San Antonio is home to several small businesses. There's a produce stand, there's a CPA office, there's a chiropractor's office, there's a pharmacy. Yes, I said pharmacy. And when you go into these businesses, they know your name. So if you don't like to do business with people who know your name, don't live here. If you don't like walking down the street and having someone wave at you, don't live here. San Antonio is a very friendly town. It is not uncommon for you to be just walking down the street and someone waving to you, saying, "Hi, how are you?" You could be driving in your car and the person passing you will wave at you. You go to the post office to check your mail. You will run into so many people that you know. People are friendly here. Now, I will tell you that there are some snooty snoots around town and you'll figure out who they are. But by and large, people are friendly. The nerve of them. If you don't like friendly people, don't live here. If you only like to eat at chain restaurants, don't live here. San Antonio is home to a handful of restaurants that are locally owned and operated. There is a barbecue place. There's a Mexican restaurant, Pancho's. Pancho's is super popular. People come from all over to eat at Pancho's. It's a great Mexican restaurant. I believe that there are only 13 tables and there's usually a wait outside. The salsa is awesome, so make sure you try that. There's also Al's Pizza. That is on the south side of State Road 52. It's a locally operated pizza shop, and I hear that they have a really great lunch special. I think it's $5. You get a slice or two. I'm not sure, you have to visit it and find out. But I've had the big pizza pies on a Friday or a Saturday night, and it's really good pizza, and the people are super friendly. There are places to sit outside and watch sporting events. I think they even have room for cornhole. It's a great place to stop. So if you don't like having locally owned, small, non-chain restaurants to eat at, don't live here. Hi, I'm Allison Newlon, broker owner of Platinum Properties of Florida, and welcome to the I Love Florida Living channel, where I talk about buying and selling real estate and living in Florida. If you don't like having a convenient location to Interstate 75, don't live here. San Antonio, Florida, the downtown area of San Antonio, Florida, is located about 3 miles from I-75. So you can hop on the interstate very quickly and get down to Wesley Chapel or Tampa. Tampa will take you about 35 minutes or so, depending on traffic. And from Tampa to the Gulf beaches is another half hour or so. So from downtown San Antonio, you can get to the beautiful Gulf beaches in about an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and a half. You're going to get some traffic and congestion once you get over to the other side of the Howard Franklin Bridge to Pinellas County, because, you know, it's more congested over there. But you have access to some of the most beautiful beaches, all within about an hour and a half. Now, in the other direction, you can go to Orlando. You can be at the gates of Walt Disney World within about 45 minutes to an hour from San Antonio. That's right, you can go visit the mouse anytime you like. You're just hopping in your car, and it takes basically less time than it takes a lot of people just to get to work. We are so centrally located here in San Antonio, Florida. We can get to anything in a relatively short period of time. So if you don't like living in a convenient location, don't live here. If you don't like to be able to walk outside your house and take a stroll through the hills of St. Leo, don't live here. San Antonio, Florida is located adjacent to the town of St. Leo. There are rolling hills that go through the campus of the St. Leo University, and you can get your own exercise by just walking out of your door, taking your dog for a walk, getting on your bike, pushing a stroller through the hills of St. Leo. And it's beautiful, and it doesn't cost you anything. So if you don't like to live in a neighborhood where it is walker, runner, biker friendly, don't live here. For more information about living in San Antonio, Florida, watch this video. I feel like I'm being watched. Making me nervous.